for the critical study of Henry IV Part 1, there are 4 things you really need to be aware of. What the purpose is, how form shapes that, what the play is about, and the relevance. So if we look at the purpose of the play, we need to be able to see that obviously as a work of drama it is to entertain. That's the primary purpose, but it also serves as a social commentary. You know, the play was written in 1597, near the end of Elizabeth's reign. She dies in 1603, so obviously there are a lot of concerns in society about succession. At that time, England was in a position where the world was changing, and they were moving from a feudalistic point of view, a world view that really focused on honour and chivalry and battles, things like that, and they were moving into a modern world that demonstrated things like Machiavellian politics, the ability of leaders to be diplomatic but also adaptable, and having a bit of fluidity. So they're in a period where there was some crossover, that you don't want to let go of the traditions of the old, but you want to be able to be progressive and move into the modern world. And Elizabeth was very successful at doing that. So Shakespeare chooses the War of the Roses as a platform for him to discuss what's going on in contemporary society. Now, once we've looked at that sort of idea, we come into the form of drama. So it's very easy to find similes and all sorts of figurative devices, and you certainly can use those, but primarily what you want to do is show how William Shakespeare shapes his play using the features of drama, dramatic form. It's a history play, that's the genre. Primarily he's using characterisation. We're exploring different characters and their representations of different ideals. For example, Hal represents performativity and this modern Machiavellian politician. Hotspur is very rigid, so he's set in this old world and Hal's in the new. There are a lot of character foils in the play. There are many. So you could look at the comparison between Hal and Hotspur. Henry's always, in the beginning of the play, wishing that the babies had been swapped at birth because he thought Hotspur was a much better leader and would be a better son. There's a lot of dramatic irony in the play, particularly focused on Henry. So Henry at the start of the play says, "Oh, no more shall England fight internally. What we're going to do is we're going to fight externally. We're going to go on a crusade." Also, Henry is unaware of Hal's plans, but the audience know, and that's because of the use of soliloquy primarily. There are dual settings, the court and the tavern, and they represent the different worlds, and Shakespeare cleverly uses blank verse in the court and prose in the tavern as a way of demonstrating the different sort of attitudes that are evident there. There's a lot of imagery in the play, one of them being celestial imagery. So there are conversations where Henry and Hal are talking about how they like to be seen by the public, and Henry wants to be like the comet, so he's seldom seen, and then that way people will like him more, and Hal's got the reverse view. Symbolism is used in the play as well, and there are many examples of that. I've used this quote here. Hal says, "Herein will I imitate the sun." So the sun being a symbol of the monarchy and divinity and all those sort of things to do with God and governance and kingship. What's the play about? It's about many things: responsibility, morality, education, honour, duty, integrity, and I've got plenty more on the board there that you can see. The thing we want to say is that the ideas are universal, and that these ideas are relevant just as much today as they were in the 1600s. They still have a lot of meaning and bearing for us today. In the critical study, we have to look at the relevance, and it's pointing us towards this notion of textual integrity, and so we're focusing on this idea of the impact of drama, the power of drama as a social tool. So when we're talking about Shakespeare's ability to craft his messages, We want to use terms like the integrity of his work, that the use of these is very cohesive, the cohesion. He provides a unity through the way in which he constructs his message that resonates. It provides a platform for social commentary, and it transcends time. That it's very skillful in doing that. The only other thing that you have to do in the critical study is have a critical voice. There are many ways to do that, and we'll look at that another time.